What's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Got another video for you today. I'm super excited about this because I've been waiting for a while to get this, and it is a TKELL Knives edition, if you will. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, this was not sent to me by TKELL. This was purchased by me. I pre-ordered it, and I've been patiently waiting, and I'm excited to get this because it's not what you think. It's not your everyday tool. So, package just came in the mail. Literally, I haven't opened it yet. Yeah, I'm going to use my teeth. I don't care. I'm excited. We're going to tear into this. Oh. My box came open here. Let's close that real quick. So you guys know, this is my invoice. Like, I paid for it. You know what I mean? I did not get this for free, so I don't want anybody. One time somebody made a comment, you know, hey, wearing the shirt of the knife you're reviewing says shilling. I'm not shilling shit, guys. I back up companies that I love. And I'll support them, and I'll buy their stuff, and I'll wear their garments. So this was paid for by me. So, but this, guys, is very cool. I'm excited to see how this works. I think it's going to be a great option to carry around with you besides a knife. And this isn't a knife. This is the TS-87 screwdriver. Yeah, that's right. It's a screwdriver. So let's bust this out. Pull this out of the package. We got a cool TKELL sticker. Let's set that down to the side. Of course, you got the really cool box that, you know, most TKELL knives come in. Very useful. Cool box. But guys, check this out. Look at this. This is literally, look, it came with a discreet carry concepts pocket clip. Oh man, this is cool already. I'm like, so let's take this bad boy out and see what we're working with. Oh, so now you guys are thinking, Jay, come on. It's a screwdriver, but look at this thing. It is a 1/4 inch thick AEBL steel that's been triple tempered to take a beating. This thing has a hex head screwdriver bit in here. It also has a detent, so when you put your hex head screwdriver bits in there, it's not going to come out. You have a ring here for retention, or for getting on there. You got to flip it around. You got to do your, you know, torque your screws, which we're going to screw some stuff into this log. We're going to break apart a pallet with this thing. It was made to put in work. It's made to be a pry bar, and I'm telling you, this was actually made to take down a Gatling gun. So I'm going to give you guys the specs on this thing real quick. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, it's just, it fits in my finger just fine. So if I had to come in here and pry some stuff, I could. If I had to come in here and poke some holes in a water bladder, you know, to empty it out, a water tank on the bottom of my trailer, gas tank or something, flip this thing around, kind of do all that cool flippity-doo stuff that I'm not really good at, but I can try to make it look cool, but I can't. But guys, look at this thing. Oh, very, very cool. So I'm gonna give you guys some specs on this real quick. This is the TS-87 tactical screwdriver, if you will. It is 9 inches overall. It's 0.25 inches. It's of AEBL still. It's 1.5 inch ring diameter. We got 53 Rockwell hardness, so it's hard but soft to be able to do that prying type stuff. It has a nickel boron coating, the T1C coating that TKELL Knives does. They're one of the only people in the industry I know that puts a nickel boron coating on their products. You're going to get excellent corrosion resistance, as well as even kind of like almost a little extra hardness. So that's pretty cool. You do have this hex head driver with detent, and it has a slimline Kydex sheath that will actually fit down in between molly webbing. So if you were wearing a vest, or let's say you are a crewman or something, and you got a you are taking down machine guns and things like that, it'll fit in your molly webbing however you carry your stuff. This was designed by Tim Kell, Amiri Morgenstern, sorry, and Torben Gilbert. All three of these guys collaborated together to make this thing happen, and the thing is awesome. This was actually designed to take down the Dillon Arrow M130D Gatling gun. So that's a, one of those things. There's a lot of moving parts. They have to be broken down and cleaned, and the guys out in the service that are working on those things needed a tool that they could depend on to get in there, break links, be able to do screwdriver things like that. I mean, even so far as to, if they had to stop the barrel from spinning quickly, they could jam that in there and not worry about this breaking. The ring is also to help them keep retention while they're working. They did use the lanyard lashing screws on here, so you could put a lanyard on there too, so you could also kind of lanyard it, so if you had to let it dangle while you were working on something, you could. But guys, besides working on that Gatling gun, I believe this thing has a multitude of uses for just about anybody. I think you can easily come in here and put this to work doing several different things for you and whatever your situation might entail. And that's kind of what I wanted to do today. Is I wanted to get in here and kind of show this thing off. So what I got here is, this is just a standard Ryobi hex head kind of screwdriver set. It's got tons of bits in here, but what's cool is that, you know, it's got the driver bits and things like that. So we can come in here and we can screw in a multiple of things into this wood to just show that working. You could also theoretically, which I don't have any socket heads on here, but like if you had to attach, let's say you had to use a larger socket, you could use one of these adapters here, pop this bad boy right in there. Look, it's in there, it's not coming out. So you can put your socket on there, do your wrenching, whatever it is you need to do, pop that right out, no problem. So I mean, it's a very cool system with that detent holding it in place. Sometimes you see things like this, you put your bit in there, you know, and it's just gonna boop, automatically fall right out because there's no detent, nothing to help hold it in place. But with this system, with that detent, you can come in, push your part in there, it's in there, it's not coming out unless you want it to. You know what I mean? You come in, push it, pull it right out. That's awesome. This is my first time handling one of these and opening it, and you can see how quickly it's pretty intuitive. It's just not a very complicated system, but it's a effective system so far. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to set this down. We got just a standard kind of wood deck screw Phillips head. I have this big old kind of lag bolt. I think this, I might need the next size bigger. Nope, that's bigger than a 1/2 inch too. Might have to pause it, go get a socket, but what I want to do is kind of drive that in with a socket. I do have this smaller kind of black lag head screw here. Let's see, that might be, I think that's a 1/4. Sorry, I wish I knew the sizes on this, but I'm not typically don't work on lots. Oh, so got this one right here. So we'll be able to put this in, and we're going to screw this into this stump right here. We're also going to use the back of this kind of as a hammer, and we're going to drive just a regular nail into the stump as well, and then we're going to try to pry it out. So what do we have here? What I said, we got some Phillips head screws, that nail. Okay, cool. So let's get a Phillips head. So what's cool is if you want it to get some length on here, like in the set here, you know, you have these really long ones you could use, which I don't think we need a really long one, so we'll just go with the standard kind of one like this, and we'll set this off to the side so it's out of the way. What's cool is you could build a small bag out for whatever you need, right, tool wise. Let's say you don't need a bunch of Phillips, and maybe you need a bunch of Torx head bits. You could probably go buy a bunch of Torx heads or a small kit, put it up in a nice little bag, and tuck it away with in your fanny pack or your truck or wherever it is you're going to keep this tool at. And you know, you could specify your kit to your mission, so to speak, if you will, using some military lingo, if you will. But I just put that Phillips head bit in right there. We got this, like I said, Phillips head kind of screw, and we're just going to put it down right here and see if we can't get it started. So as I'm pushing down, this is pushing up through the hole, so you could theoretically like hold it in place, but with this being a hex head all the way around, it's actually not hurting it to go all the way through. You know, it's just a little bit more secure. It ain't gonna fall out. Real ideally, you would probably want to start this with a drill if you could, but you know, sometimes out in the field you ain't gonna have a drill. But you can see I was able to already get it started. So now that it's started, kind of just hold it in place with a finger, kind of keep turning it. And as this gets deeper, obviously it's going to get harder to turn, right? So there we go, getting it in there. So you could do this a myriad of ways. You could kind of hold it like I am right now. It's my first time using this, so you know, there's a little bit of a learning curve for me as well. So you could either sit here and kind of do quarter turns at a time, or you could put it in there, kind of hold it in place, and then just spin it around and around and around, like so. I kind of like the quarter turns. I feel like I got a little bit more control. I can kind of hold it in place, make my turns, not a problem. So you could obviously keep going, work it all the way down. Is it as fast as a normal screwdriver? No, but I mean, if you're trying to limit maybe the amount of kit that you have, you might want to, you know, you might not want to carry a bunch of different screwdrivers and things like that. So that's where this comes into place. It is a alternative to help you reduce the amount of stuff that you have to carry and also help you get the job done. The other thing I like about this is typically with some screwdrivers you don't have like a Leatherman and things like that. You have a screwdriver on there, but it's a bulky package, it's really short, and you might have might have to get into a deep spot that you just can't get in there with a Leatherman. And again, depending on what you're doing, if you're carrying around something like this, you could easily pop this in here, get that extra length to be able to get in there and work that tool, work that screw or bolt or whatever it is that you need to do. And so you could just keep coming in and easily do that. So let's switch over here to this bolt head. So this is a 7/16 kind of socket driver. This is kind of a lag bolt. You know, these aren't really designed to necessarily be driven into a stump, but you know, I'm going to try it anyway just because I want to show this tool off. So we're going to put that on there. You guys can see that. Trying to get it started. Driving it in there, but it's a lag bolt, so it's not necessarily wanting to drive into the stump. There we go. There we go. Bam. So there it is. Now that I got it going, I can just sit here and turn and turn and turn, and it's going to drive it right in. Well, I just hit with a screw that I put in there. I probably put that in the wrong spot. But as you can see, I was able to basically just drive that in there, no problem. Let's take this screw out right here. So depending on what type of tool sets you buy, you can obviously, I've seen some hex head bits that are ratcheting, things like that. You could easily, you know, get some sort of a ratcheting type screw head if you wanted to. Different things, like I said, you can kind of work it how you need it. It is, like I said, that's what I really liked about this when I seen that. I was like, okay, this is cool because I could customize it to what I needed to do depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing. You know, maybe you have a Harley or a Yamaha or motorcycle or side by side, and you know, hey, most of the nuts and bolts on this thing are this size, 17 millimeter, 10 millimeter, whatever it is. You can specify your kit to have the majority of the sizes that you need, rather than guessing and having a whole bunch of different tool sets. But I got that screw out of the way, so we're going to finish driving this bad boy all the way down into the stump. And easily I can just sit here and torque on it, just like so. It's all the way down to the stump now, not a problem. Want to take it off, just put it on, and obviously just reverse it, you know. So, which is very cool. I really like that it's able to do that easily. Just sit here, keep torquing it around, no problem, and bam, it's out. Let's say you had to drive some nails in. Let's take your bit out. You could hold it from the screwdriver end, come in here, drive your nail in. Now obviously you'd want to use a hammer to be better, but this is big enough that you can do it and it's not going to do any damage to it because it's AEBL, it's tempered. Bam, just drove an L in, no problem. you can see there's no marks on it. That's that T1C coating on there, you know. If you had to come in here and try to pry this out, you might have to get something put underneath it to kind of wedge it, because this doesn't have like a nail removal slot. But I think if you kept working at it, you could probably remove the nail, no problem. It just might take you a little bit longer. If the nail head doesn't rip off like this one is. It's a cheap nail, guys. But if you had to try to do that, you probably could. But that's a cheap nail. So it can stay in there. For the purpose of this video, we're not going to try to take forever, but look at, no damage, no marks on that at all. I mean, you can come in here, flip this thing around, do your cool stuff. Like, I just hammered in the nail. Right? All right, so obviously we've established that it can do these things. It could drive in, you know, the versatility of being able to use, you know, Phillips heads, flat heads, Torx heads, sockets, multiple different things. It's a very cool option to have, and you can kind of build out your own little kit with it. The fact that it's very slimline to carry, comes in here, you got a nice Kydex sheath, you have very nice rivets, these brass looking rivets to hold it all together, multiple slots here for different carry options, so you can probably put some beta loop bands on here, probably mount a tech lock, whatever it is you need to do. But honestly, with this concealed carry pocket clip, I mean, you can drop it into your pocket and things like that, you know, and you just have a functional multi-tool, you know. And then if you're walking down the street and you're like, holy crap, I need to unscrew that, you know, bam, got it, you're ready to do your screwdriver business, you know what I mean? And then you could easily put it away and go about your day, right? So I'm going to turn the camera over here to this pallet, and we're going to actually, well, before we do that, let's pop this bad boy out. Very good retention on this, by the way, but I mean, yeah. Come in here, stab into this stump. I mean, this flathead slash pry bar is perfectly fine, no problems, you know. Come in here. This is my stump that I use for making knives, so I don't want to tear it up too bad, but come in here, kind of pry out some chunks. No problem, it's still straight. So let's go over here to this pallet right here, and let's break some pieces off this pallet, right? Because we want to see you do that type of stuff too. Alrighty, guys, we're right here on the side of the house. This is just pretty much a standard pallet. Let's go ahead and lower this a little bit, because you guys don't need to see my face. You want to see the TS-87 putting in work, right? So let's bring this a little bit closer, and we're going to go ahead and pry this board off right here. Get this bad boy out. We're going to stick it in here, work it. Look at that. No problem. Pop that bad boy. Got 3 nails on here. Let's move this over. We'll do this other one. We're gonna get this whole board off, right? So gotta be careful that not to poke yourself with the nails. But gotta come in here, work it down. Look at that. Pried it off, no problem. Now I can peel it the rest of the way off. Get to it. Now we got this upper piece right here. You can see this. We're gonna stick this in here. Old rotted wood, kind of. Come in here. You can see that. Yep. Yeah. Bring this bad boy down. No problem. So I'm pushing on the front and back, definitely putting some torque on it. But what we want to see is, did it bend? Nope. I mean, it flexes, but it's not bending. It's not taking a bend and staying out of shape. So you could definitely come in here, do some prying, try to break apart a pallet if you needed to, or whatever you needed to. Now, this isn't necessarily breaking all the way off, because obviously it's a pallet that has multiple boards all the way down that need to be removed. But we're not going to sit there and break them all down. But let's come around right here. See if we get a nice side view right there. Take this bad boy, like I said, stick it in here. Work it back and forth. Prying out chunks, no problem. Get rid of that. But you guys see that flex in there, but look at perfectly straight, no bend. I mean, that's what this thing is designed to do. That's why it's triple tempered. Come in and break stuff apart if you need to. Not a problem. All right, there it is, guys. The TS-87 screwdriver. I accidentally scraped my finger on a piece of wood there. The TS-87 from TKELL Knives. You can see that brand right there. 1/4 inch thick piece of AEB steel that you can utilize for multiple things. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want a tool that's going to be able to do multiple things. You could take apart stuff, break stuff, smash stuff if you have to. You know, break a little glass there, you gotta escape something. You know, protect yourself, self-preservation if you had to. But it's just a good all-around multi-purpose tool. And for the thickness and the strength of it, I don't think you could go wrong with having one of these in your kit, in your bag, your go bag, have it in your, you know, your fanny pack, have it mounted onto a belt, MOLLE system if you're in the military service, law enforcement. I mean, you could use this to smash glass if you're in law enforcement. Maybe you have to pry open a door jamb a little bit or something to that effect, or a car door to help get somebody out. You know, maybe punch out a lock. You know, you're going to be able to do it with a tool like this. And it's just a very nice slim carry package. So guys, thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Tim, you guys all did a great job on this. I'm super excited to, you know, be carrying this around. This is definitely gonna, I believe I'm gonna pretty much carry this in my fanny pack. Yeah, I carry a fanny pack. I'm a dad. Deal with it. But you know, this is gonna be tucked away. I'm gonna put together my own little kit bag with kind of like this type of tools and bits that I use on not necessarily on a daily basis, but what I use the majority of the time. But again, that's what's so cool about this, is because you can take these all these different type of bits in the handle, you can customize your kit the way you want to. You know, like I said, put all sorts of different things, no problem. And you know, you can even utilize it still with the sheath on over the screwdriver part if you want a little bit more. You know, you can grab it like this and work it however you need to, or you can work it like this if you need to. You never know. Whoa. That's why I don't flip karambits around, guys. Anyway, guys, the TS-87, badass, American-made tool, designed by military service members, and can't go wrong with that, right? Stay safe, stay sharp, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.